Hey guys, welcome back to the PuggoReborn channel. We have a new dev blog that is the release date announcement. Yes, it is going to be August 13th at a price of $14.99, equivalent to your wherever you live regionally across the globe. You can get it for that price. Now, I'm going to say right away, just so you guys are aware, we will be jumping over to the Steam page. I want to go over some of the pictures that are shown to get better context to maybe some questions people have who have had questions, I should say. And also, I will say we have a series on the channel right now, Battle Hounds, that's been going really well. But it's going to speak volumes here in a second because I'm going to read this before we go any farther. Please note, you will be able to continue your current campaign with the DLC, but you won't have access to all the new content until you start a new campaign. Of course, starting a new campaign is very much recommended. So I'm going to talk about the campaign that we're doing right now at the very end of the episode. So if you haven't seen that, or you have seen it and you want to get an update on it, we'll get right into it in a bit. Besides that, I will say a lot of the stuff is just the general text. You can find it on the Steam page. The one thing that stood out to me the most is the legendary locations. Legendary location is such a big deal because we have not really gotten into it. It talked about the holy sites and it being a special location. But the new legendary location and fight, it's just giving you the premise that there is going to be a boss, there's going to be a legendary reward. We all know that that was coming, right? But what is it? And I imagine in between a month and a half, they're going to announce something that will give us a better idea of that. So without further ado, let's jump into the Steam page. Click on the picture here, of course. Yeah, so really, I will say this. It's very beautiful, the artwork. They've got more stuff. It's more busy, of course, as you're looking. It has all the things that you'd expect in terms of the Arabic culture. And then one thing I thought was pretty cool, just looking at it, just a quick feature here, is seeing this flag here. It is a different flag. It has, of course, the skull over top and our normal scroll-like looking thing there. So yeah, very beautiful, of course. We'll get into the arena here. Looking at the arena, this actually answered one of my personal inner questions, was how many things are we actually facing? Is it going to be 3v3 every single time? Will it be a mass amount? And we really, it's interesting because we don't know, or no, this answers a question that I had about hyenas. Do they have overwhelm? It says that their sheer numbers are overwhelming in the dev blog, but it didn't say specifically that it did have overwhelm. Looking at, of course, the character, we don't know which one. Well, actually, we do know which one. It's going to be this guy right here. He has overwhelm applied to him. So yes, all of these guys do. You face 6 hyenas. They have 3 attacks. They actually, I have to venture and say that they've got to be more dangerous than direwolves because of their bite getting into armor and then causing bleed. That is insane. That is really, really dangerous. I know because of the Legends mod, if you've faced pretty much any of the legendary beasts, you'll know that kind of appliance is being applied here. So I think that's very interesting. However, we can see something pretty cool as well. He has some famed gear, which we already know about the shield, and it looks like a different mace. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the famed mace looks like, the different ones, and there's 2 in particular I'm thinking of, and this one just covered in blood, whatever. This does also apply, if you notice, these guys right here, these 3 hyenas, I almost said direwolves, they are the frenzied version. Of course, they are cut up. They have their eyes are all glazed over and so on. So yeah, I mean, to me it answers more questions. I don't know if that's something you guys already speculated, knew, whatever. But yeah, it's still pretty cool and very cool seeing these guys more fleshed out on the sidelines, looking at their crazy attire. I mean, it is pretty wild. You have yourselves some noblemen all the way to some serious beggars. I don't even know how this guy got in here. He spent all of his crowns instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna fight, he's like, here's 1 crown, get me on the top row, I need to see this, you know what I mean? So very cool. Now, and the other thing too is just pure speculation, is that these 3 are based on the gladiator start. Moving on here, the retinue, we have ourselves a new character that we had not seen prior, and it's this beautiful woman right here. Does that mean battle men or battle women coming? I don't know, probably not. But to me, she looks like she's a rogue of some sort, maybe a scout. She gives you probably ability to see, have a better understanding what's going on in the against. This is all speculation, like I said, but I'd be willing to bet that she can give you a better idea of what you're facing at a certain camp. And of course, we know our other retinue people here. It's just cool, right? I don't know what we're gonna have to see how many total there are, but they did say that there was more, and there's no donkey here, which tells me that I think they filled out the retinue. I think you can only have 5, so very cool. Next is this thing. This to me is absolutely gorgeous, and I want to give a shout out to OverHype because when I look at this regional, how the region looks, you have your holy site down here, right? You have these flags. These flags are so stinking unique. I would love to do a campaign where I had a flag like that. 4 different, pieces of whatever, a flag being put together. Look at even how this flag is bent to the side. The different areas. I mean, it's really beautiful. On top of that, you can actually see officially now how much difference. There's some goblins up here, which is kind of cool. But either way, if you look from the map, this is how much extra map we're gonna get, is what that's telling me. If it is the same size map, just pulled up a little bit, that's gonna be a little disappointing, but ultimately, yeah, this is still a very fair size, especially if they add a chunk to it. So yeah, very, very beautiful. Absolutely love that fact of it too. Now here we are facing the serpents, or we're not facing serpents, but there are serpents. Got ourselves a bunch. I keep saying like we're playing right now. You can tell I got Battle Brothers on the mind at least. But yeah, so we have these different guys. They're using their. I mean, theirs is definitely a later game, especially this guy wearing all his famed gear. But I am very excited. I think one of the coolest strategies to be is this right here, being able to just bean somebody over the head with this bad boy. Knocking them out. That extra strategy, depending on how much damage you're actually going to get from it, is going to be very interesting, let alone this two-handed sword here. I can't wait to try that out as well. But yeah, it kind of gives you more of the new gear. I'm assuming this is an attachment, but part of me is wondering if it's not. I will admit I did end up watching the video prior today from Good Talk Gaming. He did say that he thought this was an attachment, but the more I'm looking at it, while I partially agree, I'm actually thinking it might not be. It actually looks like it might be part of this armor. Because one, it's a leopard pelt, or it looks like a leopard pelt. Could be a dire wolf, or not dire wolf. See, here we go. But I don't know. Either way, the uniqueness of the armor coming out is going to be amazing. Who is actually fighting right now? You? Okay. Well, that's too bad, because I really wanted to see if he was wearing it, we could see exactly what the armor value is. That's going to be exciting. But yeah, the serpents, one of the things that I was thinking it was going to happen is I was thinking the serpents were going to be invisible to a certain range, like maybe 5 range away, and then all of a sudden they'll become visible. And that's not the case, of course. So it will be interesting to see how that looks. And plus, I love what they did. They, instead of going with a swamp, they chose like the oasis to be like a swamp. So you're going to have your debuff, of course, in the water. Very cool. Next, we have ourselves some unique grains. You got peppers and stuff, spices, which is going to be really nice to check out. And, of course, all the new gear. This is beautiful. The number one thing I'm thankful for, just out of this picture alone, is the artwork. Guys, this is incredible. Even if you look at the nomadic sling, look how well done the picture is. I mean, I'm so used to playing Legends mod. I played so much of it that the actual visual is so popping. It's perfect, and that's what you need to have in a game like this. And I respect also that this thing is a spear as well as a boomstick. That is great. I have always found that in the later game, I always take a step back from having spears because they just don't have, they're just missing something, okay? And this is going to change it. And being every weapon has a famed rendition, I can't wait to see what the famed rendition of the Fire Lance is. It is really cool too, 30 to 35 damage. You have the base stats of the spear, more max weight, which makes complete sense. But the one thing we're missing is the cursor being held over top of the actual boomstick to see more of the mechanic. You can read the flavored text at the top there, and yeah, this is gonna be, oh guys, I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. And you can see like the bow, they got a Fame bow down there, they got all kinds of good stuff here. So great job. Now on this side, this is where it gets really interesting. When I'm looking at this camp, what really stands out here is the barricades. It's going to be interesting to see how, oh man, these fights are going to be really interesting to look at. I don't know. I think whoever's these guys putting their guys together. I mean, you have a brother with a short bow. You have a guy with famed gear, but he's using a dagger, which I gotta imagine is going to be a dagger mastery build. You have your only tier 2 weapons here, not efficient armor. I'm looking at them like I would not take this fight. However, on the flip side over here, I love the aesthetics. I'm just worried about how dangerous this is going to be. Archers just sitting behind. You get a marksman, whatever, however you want to look at that, it is going to be devastating to your brothers. And you bullseye it. I know that on the on Reddit, there is a list that talks about what the strongest perks are and so on. And I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt. Bullseye just got a massive upgrade because you are going to need to outman these guys with your ability. And I can't actually imagine not having that, and we're going to have to see more of that. Again, choke points is going to be amazing as well. But yeah, there's going to be a serious emphasis going forward on Bullseye. So that's that. That's really showing everything. Also, I don't think I can do it from right here, and I don't want to pull up my my personal account at the moment. But if you go to your Steam account, you can actually check out the new what is it called? Achievements. The achievements are now available, so if you want, you can speculate over the new achievements as well. They have been added to your game if you have this. So either way, guys, I have not had an update yet. I haven't talked to OverHype Studios. I plan on sending them a message before long and just kind of give my just talk to them about this, see about when the dates are. I'd like to actually take the week off. Or whenever it is that they start this, I would like to do that. That way I can pump videos out. I was actually thinking the main series I'd like to do is the Gladiator series. I've already had the votes already high on that in particular. But on the flip side too, the slave campaign, I want to do one as well, and maybe just do like labbing it out. We'll do something for morning, because if I'm available to get early access, I can do a video at night and a video in the morning. The morning video will probably be the slave trader one, and the one at night will be the gladiator. So that way we're getting a look at both of them all the way through the week. And then the other thing too is, if you haven't already heard, I got early access. If you want the early access game, or if you don't want the early access game, if you want DLC, if you want the DLC here, I'm giving away 3 copies to somebody. If you have somebody who wants who plays the game, can't afford it. If you can't afford it because you got kids, you got college, you're a high school student, whatever it is, guys. If you want to pay for it yourself and you say that doesn't benefit me at all, I completely endorse that. You spend your hard-earned money on this game to support OverHype Studios. They're an amazing company who really cares about the fan base. They are really going. They are bending over backwards for the community right now with this DLC. I am shocked by how much they've added, and maybe someday they'll have a beast in Explorations too. Who knows? Now, as for everybody else who's been watching the channel and watching our Battle Hounds campaign, the goal for that campaign officially is just going to run through those weeks up until the DLC. Once the DLC drops, I need to get rid of it and move on to the next. Okay, so my goal exactly is, let's finish this crisis up. If we can take on a legendary location by that time, I think we should be able to. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. And then also, guys, the final thing is, let me know what you want to see in this game. What are you most excited about? Let's talk about whatever it is. Battle Brothers, Battle Brothers, Battle Brothers. I'm stupid excited. Hopefully you guys are too. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comment sections as well. And that's going to do it for today. Thanks for coming out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.